Please welcome to the stage, Dr. K. Okay. I was married for 20 years until 3 years ago. After 20 years of marriage, my wife filed for divorce in January of 2009, late January. She filed for divorce on the day after the Martin Luther King holiday, and all I could say was, "Free at last! Free at last! Praise God Almighty, I'm free at last! I have a wet dream!" And people wonder why I'm no longer married. Well, I guess there were some things I could have done different, but that's why proctologists don't wear glasses to work, because hindsight's 20/20. But I'm not going to talk about my divorce. I'm going to talk about football. I normally don't like to talk about football in a stand-up routine. I mean, I like football, but I never know how football savvy my audience is, so I don't know if they'll get the jokes. But can't do much worse so far. So I'm going to give you all a football knowledge quiz to see if I've got a football savvy audience. So by show of applause, how many of you think that the Crimson Tide is the name of the Alabama team? Just applaud. Okay, how many of you think the Crimson Tide is part of the menstrual cycle? And people wonder why I'm no longer married. Okay, how many of you think that Spike Dykes used to be the coach at Texas Tech? Okay, how many of you think Spike Dykes is the name of a lesbian volleyball team? People wonder why I'm no longer married. Well, I could have done some things differently, but, the mind is like an autopsy. It only finds things out when it's too late to do any good. But anyway, back to football. I like football just as much as the next guy, but I don't play that fantasy football, pick a quarterback from one team, a running back from another team, a receiver from another team, and get points for other stats. That's too much trouble. Fantasy football. What do these nerds do when they go out to dinner with friends? Do they order an entree, or do they just pick a little bit off everybody's plate and create a fantasy dinner? Fantasy football is like saying to your wife, "Gee, honey, you have beautiful eyes and a lovely smile. But your cousin has these awesome legs, and my ex-girlfriend has a really sexy voice. So I'll tell you what, bring your cousin over, I'll call my ex-girlfriend, we'll put her on speaker, and..." What do you mean you don't want to be on my fantasy sex team? You should be honored that I drafted you in the second round. And people wonder why I'm no longer married. After 20 years, he filed for divorce. Did I mention that? Yeah. I hate being repetitive. But, it's like mixing Viagra with Flomax, easy come, easy go. But back to football. The NCAA came down really hard on Penn State after that child sex abuse scandal with the assistant coach. And I can't help but think that if that had happened at OSU, Mike Gundy would have put a stop to it 5 years ago. He would have called Sandusky into his office and said, "This is why I'm firing you, because you're garbage. And your wife is garbage for covering up for you. Those kids were doing all the right things. You don't molest kids. If you want to bless somebody, bless me. I'm a man. I'm 40. and people wonder why I'm no longer married. God bless you. Good night.
An apple a day keeps the doctor a K.
Oh!
Thank you, Dan Skaggs. Hey, here's my, since you were talking about Jerry Sandusky, here's my impression of Jerry Sandusky's wife.